glory and honor, two concepts non-existent in this world. The journey for them, conducted by those seduced by a false idol, those who gaze into the crystal ball of mystic Gabe. We seek salvation by the hand of mystic Gabe.
Yeah, look into my crystal ball, bitch asshole, bitch asshole, bitch asshole, bitch asshole.
Many paths to take. I hope to find that freedom again. Believe we will. Many more dream free. Years and years more.
Gabe, I love you.
Gabe, I love Gabe, but 𝖓𝖊𝖓, not a fan, not a fucking fan.
What you should know, whenever I'm doing that, I'm like smooshing my cheeks like Pikachu or something.
So yeah, yo, R.I.P. Gabeism and everything, but I'm different. I'm fucking peeking to this mad tunage at the start of this tape.
Oh, oh, wait, Eva, that's right. No, Gabe. Oh, Gabe, evolve. No.
Oh no, there's been a terrible accident and 𝖊𝖊 has died. 𝖊𝖊 has taken a bad fall. It was in the shower and it just cracked its head and fuck.
Evolve is currently being taken to the medical facilities.
where Seamus is currently being held, covered in piss.
I don't know
Piss-related injuries.
I don't know how Evolve legend 𝖍𝖊𝖓 can compete after this, but here he is.
Oof. I mean, if there's anybody you can pull through it at this time, it's the 𝖍𝖊𝖓, I think. Fuck.
Oh, my goodness. So Evolve is dead. It's dead and buried, but Gabe's okay. He's like he's laughing all the way to the bank, ha ha ha, and you know it's good for him. I suppose. Like, well, I'm not sure who it's bad for, really. It seems like everyone was in this scenario, but in any case, we gotta comfort him in this time of need, and we need to speak glowingly of his 𝖊𝖓𝖊𝖓 show, 𝖊𝖓𝖊𝖓 show, which starts with some Windows Movie Maker.
Hell yeah, that's the way I like to start my Gabeism with. And so I was just going ham to this sick tunage, but then during the musical preview, a clip is shown. Did you fucking spot this? Zandig in the ring hugging Rob Feinstein.
I did, yeah. And you know, I was kind of half waiting for like that to happen, actually.
Yeah, I assumed that we would see that later in the night, but this is the only evidence of it happening now. So when I saw that, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, so I suppose a certain match on here is not the only untaped part of the show. Oh
My god.
But
What else are you holding from us, Gabe?
Gabe hides so much from us. This tunage, you're right, it's a very good song. I wish that I like knew the name of it, but like, see this opening here, I do have to admit it was a bit of a damper on things because it spoils everything that is novel.
Oh, you mean just like basically doing a highlights clip of the entire show before you watch it?
Well, yeah, because like it says Samoa Joe is competing, and also the Backseat Boys, and I'm like, those could have been very good surprises, Gabe.
Yeah, come on, Gabe.
Yeah, but it's okay. I still love you. Anyway, the package happens, and we get to this opening match, which, as it's getting introduced, I'm very confused by it, because what happens is that Divine Storm comes out. Well, they're in the ring, and then Special K come out, then Homicide comes out. I'm like, what the heck could this be? Who's he with in this apparent trios tag? But then another team comes out, SAT, and I'm like, oh shit, what's going on?
Yeah, so this is some inspired Gabeism. Obviously, a scramble match. He loves a fucking scramble. So it's the Special K team of Dixie and Izzy, accompanied by Elax, against Divine Storm, accompanied by Trinity, against the SAT, against Homicide, accompanied by no one. He's all on his Todd.
It's because Boogaloo's dead.
Yeah, we get confirmation that Gabe has killed Boogaloo. He's saying, I don't think you'll see Boogaloo in ROH anytime soon. His career's in jeopardy.
As we established last time, when Gabe starts speculating on how things are that he has full control over, it has such it feels like a parent talking to you about Santa Claus, like he's just so fucking it's almost as if he's just staring at you the entire time pointedly. It's just so fucking I can't take it sometimes, and he's similar here.
At some point in my notes, I believe invented the term Mystic Gabe, because sometimes he just says things and it's like, you know too much about this. You know too much. Yeah. Stop predicting the future. It's creepy.
So this is it. This is a tag team scramble match, an ROH original Eva. He keeps saying that sometimes. Special K, because of their perspective on life, they do not shake hands, and because of that, they get beaten down. And then Gabe, he notes that's what happens when you don't shake hands. Special K, they have no respect for anything. They care more about raving, and whatever ravers do at raves.
Yeah, raving would cover it. So Gabe's co-commentator has changed for some reason. He's now alongside a nasally man named Jeff Gorman. Who even cares, though? We're only here for the Gabes.
Yeah, Gabe inhabits a very Reverend-esque dynamic. He just eats up whoever else is in there with him.
Yeah. I liked Gabe saying that's what happens when you don't shake hands. This man is pure evil.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The Homicide, I was wondering as this match got off, because when Homicide's doing the Code of Honor, he's shitting himself, he's just getting very pissed in his pants. Yeah, he's just very, very kind of limply shaking everyone's hands because he's alone here. Boogaloo's dead. He has no partners to fall back on. But I was wondering, Gabe, how can you do this to Homicide? But as Gabe explains, he already signed his name for this match. Presumably Boogaloo did too, but Boogaloo is dead. He cannot fulfill those responsibilities. Gabe will have to contact the estate of Boogaloo in order to, further the matter. But Homicide, he still has to do it, and he's a man of his honor. And this tag scrabble match, God, if Gabe really is evil, because this Jeff guy, there is something that we need to involve him in. Is that this Scrabble match, it's high-paced action, and as ever, it's a struggle to call it play-by-play, Eva. So Gabe tells Jeff, "Oh, Jeff, you're gonna have trouble calling this match. Huh, this is like a trial by fire. We'll see how well you do."
Yeah. As if he hadn't purposely designed it that way.
Fucking Gabe.
Just a heinous individual.
Elax early on, like is out there, but like he gets like body slammed and he goes ah, or he's just getting slammed like a pterodactyl, and then he gets carried out by Chris Devine's girlfriend. So that's cool.
It is Trinity. She popped up on the last show, and I was like, "Is that Trinity?" And you were like, "No, there's no way it's Trinity."
What? I just thought it was Mickey James. I didn't deny your
Well,
perception
you
of
got it
reality.
wrong. You got it
Oh.
wrong.
I
got it wrong.
I got it wrong. I got it.
It was Trinity all along.
It was Trinity, Austin. It was Trinity all along.
That would be a hell of a reveal.
Yeah, so the higher power Trinity carries out Elax. So long for him. Gabe has like throughout the show, there's a lot of times where like I was really brought to the brink, not in despair, but just like it would feel as if like I couldn't take it anymore. I had to pause and just go ah, and it's like one of the first bits of it is like a monologue that Gabe goes on. I believe that this is when I think it's like Quiet Storm and one of the ACT. Where they are just like doing like exchanges and all that, and Gabe says they may be friends outside the ring, they may be training partners, but when the time that the bell rings, they're all action, it's all competitiveness, and it's all about who's going to get that pinfall, who's going to claim rings and get that tag title shot. And I waited so long for that sentence to end.
He's clearly taken notice from Donny B. Just these run-on sentences.
No, Eva, no. Donny B was a vessel for this parasite of Gabe Sapolsky.
Oh shit.
It's fucked up.
This match is quite a fun way to open a show, I think. Bit of a spot fest. Nice bit of fucking fun,
How did you feel about Homicide in this match?
He hits the tope con hilo beautifully as usual, and that's more or less the only thing I kind of noticed from him until obviously the finish.
What I noticed from him was that like he like he's in one of the spots where like something big has just happened, and now it's him and another guy in the ring like in the wake of it, and like he gets arm dragged, right? But it's as if like the guy arm dragging him, like Homicide doesn't move. The guy arm dragging him, it's as if like he just kind of rotates, and then Homicide's like, oh, and he kind of falls over, and like it reminded me in a good way of Mongo, and like I quite like that. Yeah, this is like a fun little match, like I think that like the other examples of this sort of thing in like earlier shows, I don't know, it just didn't like it just didn't hit at this level, unlike this one. But it's
it's paced a lot better, I think. And
yeah,
the spots are a bit cooler as well. Like one of the SAT fucking lariats in I believe it was Izzy off the top rope, and Izzy flip bumping back into the ring. That's rad.
Yeah.
And like the dives sequences when everyone hits their dives, it's well done with I think Izzy again doing the craziest spot, springboard into the top rope and then changing direction in midair to hit the moonsault onto everybody.
Yeah, and it's funny too because like Izzy like tries it like fucking 2 times, but like each time someone's there to like interrupt him, so finally gets off, and it's like, oh, the most amazing dive of the match.
Yes, very rewarding.
Like there was something that was quite funny that I noticed was that that this is there's a low blow here, right? Like a blatant low blow, and what the referee does is he looks away after seeing the low blow. Now I want you to think about this, right? Because he was not acting as if he was distracted by anything, right? He was just like looking away, as if one would do if they were at a meeting and a PowerPoint presentation, right? Now this is this match opens the gates, Eva, right? It's like a fucking it's trying to be Toriumon or some shit. It's just like high paced shit. You can't take your eyes off it, but this riff can apparently. It's just silly.
I smell corruption.
It's too true. There's a save made. There's a breakup in one of the pinfalls. And Gabe goes, whoops.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know why he says that. I like to imagine he just like spilt his drink at that point or some shit. It's like, whoops. Whoops, I got my fucking Coke all over my dick.
Yeah. Apparently, when Homicide does a Shining Wizard, they call it the American Wizard.
Sick. Great. How about this messy fucking Tower of Doom spot?
Oh,
The messiest I've ever seen.
oh, this Tower of Doom spot, right? Of all the Tower of Doom spots, for all the Tower of Doom spots I've seen, this one is probably the one done in the most rote manner, don't you think? Like, they just kind of say, okay, let's do this now. And
they're like they're trying to find a way for 7 people to get involved with this.
Yes.
And it doesn't quite work out, because I think one of Special K, he absolutely just finds himself in the wrong position somehow. And he gets one of the Maximals just landed right on his fucking head.
Izzy, like, he kind of just like, it's as if like, he just like jumps off like a second beforehand, and they just come down on him, and he looks fucked afterwards. Like that. It was bad. Did you notice also that Chris Devine did like the movie did to Nick Burke, except he didn't mess it up, so it was much more dangerous.
Oh, did he? I didn't notice that when like nobody nearly dies off it.
Yeah.
I think Quiet Storm invented the one-winged angel in this match.
Yeah, that was real something, Like he like does the like Storm Cradle Driver, but he doesn't actually hit that. He like, an exchange happens, and he ends up hitting the fucking one-winged angel, and like I think this Jeff fella calls it a pile driver. It's not a pile driver.
Oh, we're taking the role of the message boards, and we're on his case for that one.
The smartest one would be feel pleased with you there, Jeff.
I am message board, and I am not too pleased.
Absolutely not. But what I am pleased with is like the finish that you referenced before, where Homicide, he's in there with Special K, as he may be a disadvantaged tag team, but this here singles competition, if you really think about it. So he just murks Izzy, and then he taps out Dixie, and he hits the move that he ends it the only way it should do at this time in the world, with the motherfucking cop killer. Hell yeah. Yes.
But then he does an STF to tap out the other guy. But never mind that. Cop killer!
Yeah. He does. It's kind of he pulls a cane, Eva. He pulls a cane, around this time even. You know what? It might. I'm trying to think of which one would come first. Where Kane, him and Hurricane were tag team champions, and Kane, he had to defend them by himself in a TLC match, and he did it because he's a big red monster. And Homicide, similarly, he's a notorious 187. He's got to do it by himself. So there you go.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Hooray for Kane E. Homicide. Oh no!
Oh, what the fuck?
Whoa, what? Holy shit! What is going on?
The Backseat Boys, they are here, and Gabe decides that now's a great time to say that CCW and Ring of Honor, they've reached a working agreement.
Yeah, holy shit! They're gonna run some double headers in the city, so fans can catch shows from both companies in one day. I'm not certain, but I'm fairly sure this ends with CZW deliberately running really late and everybody hating each other again. So I can't wait.
Wow.
I'm sure Gabe's gonna have some great barbs on commentary.
Oh my goodness, he already has barbs. That's the thing. Oh my goodness. But yeah, CCW and Ring of Honor, these two promotions, which seemingly have been each other's throats, You know, like it's already like impacted on the status of the Briscoes, the status of Eric Gargiulo, and so on and so forth. Even CM Punk, if you want to really think about it. But now they seem to have patched things up, a working agreement. Now Gabe, he just says it's just like, oh, it's just a double header, but you know, there's CCW talent right in Ring of Honor's ring. What's he going to do about it? I don't know.
Yeah, Backseat Boys, they get a bit of a mixed reception from the crowd. Backseat Boys do like chicanery after all, so you can't expect an all-around loving reception.
Yes,
from these chicanery haters.
The crowd booed him in some parts. You know, it brings to mind, like, you know, the nice part about like interpromotional stuff is territorialism. You know, it's great.
Yeah.
And like the Backseat Boys, they're like, hey, Homicide, you want a match for so bad, you don't even got a partner. And, you know, I'm just wondering, like, did he ask for a match in the first place? But, you know, in whatever case, Homicide's like, you know what, I do got a partner, and he's back there. Come on out. You know, he just makes a open call for someone to come out. Who is it?
Yeah. It's Steve Corino.
Oh my god.
Mercifully staying away from the commentary booth to wrestle here tonight.
Ah, he wants to bring that. He wants to bring that strong style C1 action.
We love strong style, and here we fucking go.
Wow.
Both teams adhere to the code, but it's actually the ROH guys who bring the chicanery by slapping the Backseat Boys mid handshake, and then there's a Yakuza kick, and Gabe just got judo impression. Yes.
Oh.
Gabe says Yakuza kick. Although he does then, he pussies out of attempting a Hitman voice there. He just says, like, where's John House to call that one?
Yeah, that fucking, I had to pace around the room for a little bit after, like, you know, there's a Yakuza kick, and, Jeff's like, oh, there's a Yakuza kick, and then Gabe, so bold as Gabe Sapolsky, just like, I was a CCW show, it would be ergo Yakuza, and it's like, it was fucking crazy, and I consider this just another grenade lobbied in this war of attrition between CCW and Ring of Honor. Just spectacular. He talks about Steve Corino, and he tries to use Corino's own words for him. He calls him he tries to call him a thinking man's wrestler, but instead he said a thinking's man wrestler.
What a fucking idiot!
Idiot. I learned from Homicide here was when they're on the outside. I think it's him and Trent Acid, where he puts Trent Acid on a chair, and then he goes to get some distance so he can do some stuff. And what he does is he puts his arms out like an airplane, goes, "There's a danger little jog." Lovely.
This is also a good match for very good wrestlers. Nice pace to it, excited crowd. But then Corino, he decides to turn on Homicide, hitting him with a super kick just as he's about to hit the cop killer. You heard it here first, folks. Steve Corino is officially a Blue Lives Matter guy. Despicable.
And just a minute prior in the match, Corino had one of the Backseat Boys held up, and he was like, "Homicide, club this man with your limbs." And Homicide was like, "Okay." But then when he went to do it, Backseat Boy moved out of the way, and Corino was hit. And Homicide, he went on thinking, "Oh well, he will understand. 'Twas only a mistake." Corino was like, "That was no mistake. I will kick you now." Ah.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate misunderstanding between two guys who could have just been the best of friends. But here we are. The Backseat Boys then easily finish off Homicide with the Tigamic.
What does Gabe think of all this?
Gabe feels ashamed that CZW guys have just come in and beaten two Ring of Honor guys.
Gabe, he is especially ashamed in Steve Carino. He considered this betrayal unbelievable. He's spitting in the face of Ring of Honor. He says he's behind the Ring of Honor and everything, and then he pulls this. So he's just not a happy camper about this at all. And how could you be?
He's not a happy Gabe.
Absolutely not. But I suppose there's only one thing that could make him a happy Gabe, could make all of us a happy Gabe, is Ring of Honor's first ever intergender tag.
At last.
It's here, finally.
So this match to me is all about the Gabe quotes. There's a bit where one of the Christopher... I'll say who is actually in the match. The Christopher Street Connection and Alice in Danger, accompanied by Japanese Pool Boy, against 𝖋𝖔𝖊𝖓 and Full Effect, which is the name I have adopted for Christian York and Joey Matthews.
Yes.
So there's a bit where one of the Christopher Street Connection sort of puts his groin across one of Full Effect's face as he pins him. And Gabe says, "Did he just put his in his And then just seconds later, he's like, "The Christopher Street can give it out, and they can take it. In the ring, I mean."
In the beginning of the match, he also says, Christopher Street Connection, we all know what they're about. No, he's getting to that.
Damn.
So yeah, and I love the way he talks about 𝖋𝖔𝖊𝖓 too, because his start off, he says she's one kick-ass chick, and I just imagine imagine if you're on a date with Gabe Sapolsky, you're in the car afterwards, you're about to go back home, and he says that to you. You're one kick-ass chick.
Well, I don't want to imagine that, but it does sound like a Thick Foley reply.
Oh,
Thick Foley, you're one kick-ass chick. If only all the chicks could be as kick-ass as you, huh? Anyway.
Jeff, at one point, he's saying that York needs a tag out because he's been in a match a long time, And Gabe,
Oh yeah.
he
sucks.
he's feeling fucking sassy because he says, "I'll tell you what needs a tag out. It's Christian's hair. What is up with that?"
Agreed, Gabe. It sucks. So yeah, this is Christian York's last ever ROH appearance. So I'll take the opportunity now to say he sucks ass, and he's worse than every woman.
Holy shit! That's why he fucking said that. Cause Mystic Gabe.
Mystic Gabe strikes again, just burying him on his way out. Fucking awesome.
Oh. God, that's so good.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Joey Matthews, being the noncy older member of Special K, can't come soon enough, which Gabe is already planting the seeds for on commentary. I heard he's hanging out with those Special K guys.
Fuck. He's so good at Booker. That's crazy. So this match, it's alright. The main thing is that Mickie James, she is trying to get to Alice in Danger, and Alice in Danger is just avoiding it. They're really saving that money matchup, and it really just it goes in a way that just pisses you right off, because the Christopher Street Connection, they catch Mickie James and the Gabe Asher at their double team maneuver lethal in the wrestling match. And then Allison comes in to get that pin. Cheap win, cheap victory.
Cheap.
I'm starting to debate whether this is honourable or not. Anyway, the match ends.
I agree.
And YMCA starts playing as it does, and Full Effect, they take Japanese Pool Boy and they beat him up. While this is happening, YMCA pauses. Then they do their finisher. Then just YMCA starts playing again.
Wow. So that's one that will We'll never forget that one. As long as we live, I believe.
Yes.
Or maybe we will. maybe I'll have forgotten it tomorrow.
I'll never forget this pain.
So now it's time for a 𝖚𝖏𝖊𝖓 promo. He's underlining that it's time for him to be serious and not that comedy act. Yada yada yada. We get it, James. Come on.
A lot of people be coming up to me, and they be asking, James, Guido, what's wrong with the FBI? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with the FBI.
Yeah, so he attempts to give this storyline a passable backstory, saying his career was at a standstill in between ECW closing and deciding to get more serious for Ring of Honor. But it's still just dumb as shit for a wrestler to be sat in character talking about their gimmicks. You just can't overlook how nonsensical that aspect of it is.
You know what's my favorite part of it is that like he does some name drops like of people he's like been wrestling with for history, and like every single time like he'll like do like a wistful chuckle, you know, like goes Tracy Smothers, Tracy Smothers, you know, as if like I'm
remembering Tracy Smothers.
Haven't thought of that name in a long time. It's just he's fucking. He hates to do it, Eva. He hates to do it because he still wants to be in a tag team with Tony Mamaluke. But this current situation, it can't stand.
It's untenable.
Tony Mamaluke must die.
So here we go. It's been built for a long time now. Winner earns the rights of the FBI gimmick, James 𝖚𝖏𝖊𝖓 versus Tony Mamaluke. Mamaluke, he starts off with some extra aggressive Italian hand gestures.
It's true. What did you think of James like feeling self-conscious about his body?
What bit would that be?
When he just kept his t-shirt on.
Oh, did he keep it on the whole match? Damn.
Yeah.
Let it out, James.
you know what I was
Get your tits out for the lads.
What I was hoping it would be, right? When I initially clocked that he wasn't taking the shirt off, was that like, you know, he would lose the match and then very sadly he would remove the shirt to reveal an FBI shirt.
Oh, that would have been great. That would have been great.
Yeah, I wish it was. The code of honor, it's eventually observed, like, you know, Mamaluke, he shakes hands but then does a cheap shot after it, and you know what this means. Gabe, he finds time to talk about the code of honor.
I love when he does that. Every show. Every single fucking show. It's brilliant. So, the last time they had this match, it spilled outside the ring quick and ended pretty quick. But here, it's staying in that ring, and it's got some proper good grappling in it from two great talents at this kind of shit.
It's quite true, yeah. Like, and, you know, they do all this, like, grappling, they do the rolling around a lot, and, you know, the crowds, they have to give their appreciation, they start clapping, and Gabe tells you, they're not clapping for a table spot, or some sports art or driver shit, they're clapping in appreciation for great action. And you know what, Eva? I do that every day at 7 p.m. I go and clap for the great workers in our industry.
Yeah. Clap for gay wrestlers. Putting it all on the line.
Every day, every night. Work great.
So there's an interesting bit where 𝖚𝖏𝖊𝖓, he goes to hit the I believe it's the Sicilian slice. It looks at first like Mamaluke takes it kind of like sloppily. But Gabe jumps in saying it as a smart reversal for Tony to drop to his knees to make sure that 𝖚𝖏𝖊𝖓 didn't get all of it.
Yeah, the kiss of death. Yeah, I thought.
I have no idea if that's true or just some good covering from Gabe, but it's an interesting wrinkle if it was indeed a deliberate touch.
I would believe it more if he didn't, like, you know, still as if he received the move.
Yeah, he kind of did do that, didn't he? I think it was maybe just a cover job.
Yeah.
But fucking, fair play, Gabe. That's a decent cover job.
Yeah, he tried. Like,
He tried.
There is some more mystic Gabe here because he says that he
Yes!
heard that 𝖏𝖊𝖓 is gonna teach you a new hold.
Where'd you hear that, Gabe?
Where'd you hear that?
Was it at this pre-recorded show? 𝖏𝖊𝖓, he ends up winning with a superplex that he holds onto and transitions into a front chancery. And 𝖏𝖊𝖓 taps to that. Justice is finally served. 𝖏𝖊𝖓 can officially say Mamma Mia and forget about it. And there's nothing 𝖏𝖊𝖓 can do. A wonderful day for chicanery.
Yeah, Gabe is just like, it's a sad day for Gabe,
Yeah, sad day for Gabeism, but wonderful day for chicanery.
I was expecting some, big angle after this, because, I wasn't entirely sure of what the stipulation was. As I said last time, I wasn't sure if this meant that James 𝖏𝖊𝖓 has to go along with it, right? I didn't know where, he,
I think they do explain on commentary that, it's just if 𝖏𝖊𝖓 wins, he can do what he wants with it. And if 𝖏𝖊𝖓 wins, he's putting it to fucking bed.
Oh, so yeah,
But it would be very funny for 𝖏𝖊𝖓 to just have to do this against his will.
He just sadly goes 𝖏𝖊𝖓.
And then dabs his tears with a 𝖍𝖊𝖓 hanky. But after the match, the code of honor is adhered to. A deal's a fucking deal. It's done.
Kaput.
So we think. Kaput.
Shit, wrestling is kaput. Yes, then we can move on to a real dream match, internationally speaking. Hidaka returns from the East Side Connection versus Amazing Red. Oh my goodness, what did you think when you saw this match up here?
I was like, hell yeah. Hidaka, he's on the last day of his 2-week trip to the States. He might have ended up wishing that he'd just gone home a day earlier, but by the end of this. But yeah, I was well up for this match, and it was very good time. They do. I wasn't entirely convinced early on because they sort of do. They do big athletic counter sequence early on, and it's not as good as when Lukey does the stuff, but it's a fine match nonetheless. There's 2 big dives from Red that don't quite go his way each time. The first time, Hidaka manages to counter with a drop kick, and the second time, Red only skims Hidaka and just face plants right into the guardrail.
Yeah.
Gabe picks this point to say, "Countouts are stupid."
How defiant Gabe. He just says, "We don't have countouts here because countouts are stupid." And then Jeff, his employee, goes, "Oh," or something like that. He supports this sentiment, being paid.
Then Jeff Gorman, he calls a move a falling spinning leg breaker, and Gabe's immediately like, "Uh-oh, the message boards aren't gonna like that one."
I would feel so. I'd be so full of fear if I was Jeff.
It's just a sinister man setting this Jeff up to fall.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, the first thing I liked in this match was when Hidaka sends Red to the outside and they start doing chop exchanges to the chest, and then soon Red stops. It's like, "Let's get back in the ring," and Hidaka's like, "You know what? You're right." They get back in, and people start, "Whoa!" It's good. It's good.
Yeah. There's a much better period of reversals, which feels way less rehearsed and is more impressive. Just Hidaka being slick as fuck, just doing all sorts of shit, way too much stuff to write down, but it's all fucking great. Red pulls out a 619 to the Hidaka's gut as Hidaka was moving towards him. Gabe says, "I think I heard the crowd chant 718 Red's area code. This is just a few seconds before a 718 chat is actually audible. 𝖵𝖘𝖊𝖓 at it again.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Like, Gabe, you could have waited like literally 2 seconds to make that call. But he jumped the gun. 𝖵𝖘𝖊𝖓 is something else.
Oh, 𝖵𝖘𝖊𝖓 factors into the finish here too, because the finish is, he goes for a power bomb. It gets countered to a famous serve from Red, right? And Red takes this opportunity. He goes for the big in for Red, then the Red Star press, and now the after effect of this is 𝖓𝖐𝖘. His face got fucked up just by
during the infrared, Red's foot catches 𝖓𝖐𝖘 right in the eye.
Yeah, it looks nasty. And right, so the hard cam of this finish is that 𝖓𝖐𝖘 gets pinned. You can't really see his face in focus.
Yeah,
it's very far away. It's barely even shot. And Gabe says, "Oh, well, you can already see 𝖓𝖐𝖘's face is swelling up."
Eagle Eye 𝖵𝖘𝖊𝖓. Fucking hell. Yes, he says that a good 10 seconds before, like, we actually see the damage done. he just wants to know things before we do. Fuck. And just, he wants us to know that we know he knows.
He's just doing this to happen.
But yeah, 𝖓𝖐𝖘 got pretty fucked up quite bad off that. But he doesn't let that stop him from adhering. Hooray!
Yeah. He does kind of look as if he's like doing it in spite of the whole eye thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, a nice match indeed between 𝖓𝖐𝖘 and Red. Very a good way to spend your final day in the country if you're 𝖓𝖐𝖘, and for Red, you're gonna be all over Weekly Pro Wrestling magazine over in Japan.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah, amazing stuff. Then we move on to an even more amazing thing, in my opinion.
Yes, it's what we're all waiting for. Finally, the ETV Television Championship match. Fast Eddie, the current champion, defends against Don Juan.
Fast Eddie's legally blind, Eva.
He's legally blind.
Can you believe it?
No. So trainer Rudy Boy here is he's there to watch like a proud papa. He's not taking anyone's side. He's just observing. This is a pretty quick little thing. Fast Eddie does a springboard moonsault to the outside, but like clatters his leg into the guardrail. The blind fool.
Yeah, like when that happened, like one of the things I wrote was just like, oh well, they said he was blind. Enough said that, I can believe it.
Poem.
I wasn't gonna say it because I thought I'd be mean, but then you just went for it, so.
Yeah, that's my role. Saying the meme shit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit me. Anyway, Don Juan, this guy, he got like murked in one sentence last time he was on here, and now this time he seemingly gets concussed. This guy, he should just hang it up.
Yeah, go back to porn, bruv.
Yeah.
Fast Eddie, he wins with moonsault fall-away slam. Well, good for him. But what isn't good for him is Biohazard coming in, rushing both guys, while Michael Shane distracts Rudy Boy on the outside.
Oh,
it's not good.
Now,
OMG, it's Steve Corino.
Steve Corino? What the heck? Steve Corino comes out. Well, first of all, right, if Don Juan, right, if he's actually concussed, very inconsiderate of him to run this angle where he gets beat up some more.
Oh, did Gabe say something about a concussion?
He said, like, he looks knocked out, and then I looked at him and it's like, maybe.
Yeah, he almost definitely got a concussion.
Yeah.
You know what 𝖵𝖘𝖊𝖓's like?
You know what Gabe's like?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Steve Corino, he's on that stick. He says, sometimes, when he's fucking simply luscious, he says, call me Rudy Boy. Which, whatever you're into.
he says this to Rudy Boy, right? He says to him, "I impersonate you as a sexual fetish. It helps me when I'm having sex." And then Rudy Boy, he just gets standards like, "Steve Carino, wanna be Dusty Rhodes."
Yeah, he just brushes it off and just says the insult he was going to say anyway. It's very good stuff.
Oh,
and
man.
the fight begins. Texas deathmatch rules between Steve Carino and Rudy Boy Gonzalez. This has been a very odd feud, but I'm not sure as to why they decided to do it, but I was surprisingly up for seeing it get settled tonight.
A Texas
Right,
deathmatch.
now we're here, we fucking might as well.
The first thing that Rudy Boy does is Carino is on the stick. Well, he's got the stick and he hits Carino with it and starts doing some blood punches. The punches that you do, when you want some blood to happen. And I think that the crowd is not familiar with Texas deathmatch rules, because what happens is that Rudy Boy, after doing those punches, he does one kick and then gets a free count, and people are like, "You don't understand. There's a 10 count after it."
Yeah, they probably should have explained it to the crowd, because I remember my first time watching a Texas deathmatch having a similar reaction. But it's a great stipulation if you know what the fuck's going on. So yeah, Carino's immediately bleeding. Obviously gets the very quick pinfall, but in Texas deathmatch rules, that's far from job done. It's not long before Rudy Boy is bleeding too. Rudy Boy takes a flip bump for a clothesline on the outside, and nobody seems to take any note of this at all.
That was fucking stupid.
The crowd doesn't respond. Gabe says nothing.
He just does it. Why is he doing the Rikishi bump? There's no reason for it.
Well, Carino hit him that hard that he just rotated that way naturally.
Damn, that's that strong sales year one style that we've heard so much about. And Jeff, he says once Rudy Boy's back in the ring that he's smelling blood of his own, but he's also smelling Rudy Boy's Gonzalez's blood. And it's a very confused statement. And ultimately, this match it stays within its means. It's worked pretty well according to its parts. Steve Carino. I was wondering, after all the time that we've spent thinking that he's just one of the worst people to ever grace the earth. I was concerned that perhaps this would influence your opinion of him as an in-ring worker. Did it?
Sorry, what?
Do you like him as a wrestler?
Carino.
Yeah.
He's alright, yeah. I haven't got a problem with him similar to the problem I have with him as a commentator.
He is indeed better suited to this role.
Absolutely. So, did you say the finish? It's Carino choking Rudy Boy unconscious for an official fall. Rudy Boy can't get himself back up.
Yeah.
Pretty cool thing. Pretty cool thing.
That lethal Cobra clutch. And, Gabe, he heads off any suspicions because he says he's been knocking people out with this. So it may happen here to Rudy Boy. And it does.
Mr. Gabe!
Mr. Gabe. Oh.
Yeah, that suddenly just occurred to me. He's just I don't think he's getting up from this one. And then he doesn't. Yeah, well done, Gabe. You were right. Well done. You were right about the thing that you fucking booked. Well done. You could have got into it more and said, if he could just get himself up or some shit. But,
Oh, and then, afterwards, Steve Carino, this piece of shit, he's gonna do Code of Honor. After all this, you're gonna come up to Rudy Boy Gonzalez, the guy you impersonate for sexual purposes, top of your head. Rudy Boy, rightfully so, he flips the middle fingers. So Michael Shane, Resident Evil, and Steve Carino, they all start beating up Rudy Boy. But oh, what the fuck? Here comes Paul London with a giant ladder.
Yeah, Paul London stumbling ass over tit with a ladder With, like, he's clearly kind of struggling with this.
Takes him a second or two. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But he does kind of manage to take everyone out, and the three of them start to retreat. But then Ladder, London, Ladder flips off poor London and fucking destroys everyone.
Yeah, like he does like a big Shelton Benjamin dive off and get was
And he lands spine fucking first across this guardrail. It's pretty mad.
Yeah.
Somehow just walks away from that scenario.
Yeah. Now this is like this is like Gabe's trick here, right? Is that like I'm so used to Mystic Gabe now that like anything he says must be for a purpose that you can easily see like in 10 seconds. Now he speculates that dive might have chipped one of Resident Evil's tooths, right? He says tooths, not teeth. That might have chipped one of his tooths. And like so then when the shot is on Resident Evil for a second, I was like, wait, does he have all his teeth? No, I can't notice anything. Gabe, what the fuck?
Yeah, he absolutely had a chipped tooth. God damn it, Gabe.
Yeah, so Steve Carino, he is like in league with Michael Shane. We are wondering what the alignment of Michael Shane could be, because he's neither on the neutral army of Ring of Honor, the Honourables, nor is he in the Prophecy. It turns out he's in his own gang with Steve Carino, King of Old School. Oh my god.
Fuck.
Also, I like how Paul London, when he's back in the ring, he like goes up top of the turnbuckle, he points at Michael Shane, then he like makes like 3 fingers like 3, beat you, pinfall, 3, you.
Yeah, very good sign language from Paul on.
Yes, indeed. Now we can move on to yet another amazing occurrence, a debut match here in Ring of Honor for none other than the Godzilla man Samoa Joe.
Yes, Loki vs Samoa Joe, fight without honor.
Oh.
So Joe, he's here as a hired mercenary for the Prophecy. But that's irrelevant. Who fucking cares? Look at this match.
See when that popped up, Fighter for Honor, I was like, Fighter for Honor? Why? But then Gabe says, here's Samoa Joe, an assassin for the Prophecy.
An assassin.
But yeah, Samoa Joe versus Loki. We saw it in the King of Indies. It was beautiful. Here, also.
Yeah, even better, I think, here. This is just, like, immediately fucking amazing. There's too much cool stuff to really, like, just mention all of it, but I'll mention some of it. I love the start with Joe's got a mount on Loki. He's throwing sick forearms, but Key's answering back with badass headbutts. Joe wrenching the fuck out of Loki with a truly great single leg crab.
Yeah.
When I really started going crazy is when Loki chops Joe and Joe does this sort of like, what the fuck was that face? Just like Key would display to someone like Xavier or Christopher Vine. It's like, yes!
It's true. A meeting of equals. Oh.
Yeah. There's an offended, sort of angry look on Key's face as he sort of leaps straight back onto his feet. He starts slapping the fuck out of each other. Like during most of this match, I was like punching the air, making some fucked up Chewbacca noises out of pure joy.
Yeah, there's so many points that like just like really provoke that feeling in like your heart, like I just like again love the point where Joe becomes like a wounded bear. Like he's so big and he's such a punishment sponge, but it still hurts, it still hurts. And then soon like Joe just goes down and then Loki triumphantly came at SpongeBob's yes. It's fucking
everything here is so fucking good that you could easily overlook things which would be a highlight in most other matches. It's just like Key hitting Joe with a bridging Tiger suplex, huge back suplex on Joe, lands right on his fucking neck, and this is just like in between stuff.
It really stood out to me that like the slaps they do, right? The sound they make is like if you were to like chop someone on the chest, you could make that sound because like the chest is a overall safe area to like do such a infliction of pain to. They'll survive that. You don't do it to the face because that's impractical, but they just do it anyway.
Yes.
And
And
Jeff.
when they do like trade in that big slappy, all the
slappy.
50-50 stuff always goes somewhere. Not just cooking up a beefy steak in there. It's going somewhere.
Jeff says that the prophecy, they couldn't have found a better hired gun than Samoa Joe. And now, look, if you want to say that this is an amazing wrestling match and these are two of the best, then that's one thing. But, Eva, there are plenty of assassins you could hire who would choose to murder low-key in a place that has very much less witnesses to witness the murder. And I would also choose a much more efficient method than a spirited wrestling match. So I must disagree with Jeff on there. Prophecy, they don't have good Hitman contacts, but they do have good Samoa Joe contacts, which is what matters.
Yes, I would agree with that. They also start trading the snapmare back kicks.
Oh,
And then, like, defiantly shaking off the pain. They start taking off their, like, wrist tape. Key takes his kick pads down.
I love that because like there's no discernible way in which like them taking off the wrist tape or like pulling down their like kick pads actually like factors into anything. It's as if like they're just like filled with so much energy, just like, oh god,
But it's just fucking cool.
gotta fucking strip, and I'm like, it's so good, so good.
He does go ham with the koala kicks after that. And
Yeah,
then the finish
koala
comes.
kicks.
Starts clubbing Joe in the back of the head with his forearms.
Ah.
Joe does one more defiant roar, but then Key does one more forearm to the back of Joe's head. Joe topples. Low-key pins him. Beauty.
Yeah, there's something about that, like that last little bit of energy of it, because like it doesn't feel like the other sort of examples of it you'd see in like pro wrestling, where like there's like a second and like a close-up camera shot given to this defiant roar of like, I know I will not win, but I will not go out without a fight. But here it almost feels as if Joe is just screaming out in pain as Loki is murdering him. It's just like so good, and like one of those things where you're thinking as he's going for the pin, this would be a really good finish. Oh wait, it is. Loki.
Yeah, it's just like I haven't been this exhilarated by a match in quite some time. Like, yeah, just fucking amazing stuff from Two Beasts. I think this would have to be at least a top 3 match we've covered across all the pods, in my opinion. If not the very best.
Yeah, amazing stuff from
I'm
both
sort of
guys.
like, I could go either way. It depends what day you ask me between this match and Loba versus Zandig. Like, just fucking, amazing.
Samoa Joe, his fat ass is gonna be here more often from now on, and we're happy to see it. But
Yeah.
screw all this like shit about good matches. I want to talk about what the fuck is going on with his handshake. That's what's really important. Because
Yeah, alright, Gabe. I'll get to the handshake.
because you see, Eva, Samoa Joe, he may be out of property, but he's not an official member. He was just hired by them. He's paid money to be there. So we don't know whether he'll do the handshake or not.
But yeah, the prophecy aren't going to be happy because after the match, Joe does indeed shake Loki's hand, and they also both hold up the 0-1 banner.
Solidarity. We are in the same promotion. Wow.
Somebody call Marcel because Christopher Daniels just got pwned.
Oh, love the final segment on this show where Samoa Joe tells Christopher Dance, suck my dick. So yeah, a beautiful ending to a beautiful match. Then we get on to, I don't even know why this is included on the video.
Yeah, how do you follow a match as good as that? Well, of course, you follow it with Prince Nana versus Elax. Duh. So this lasts about like 90 seconds. Elax just can't take the shit seriously. He's having a right laugh, and Nana's not gonna take that shit. I did like Elax cackling like Grandmaster Sexay as he gets chopped.
Yeah. Oh, doesn't it take such a dark turn, doesn't it, Eva? That we all thought, Elax, he's not taking this stuff seriously. Why is he not properly selling? You know why? 'Cause he's on drugs.
He's on that wacky backy. Which I would never go anywhere near.
You know what that special K get up to?
So, I guess Nana, he puts something around his head, like some kind of headband with something wrapped in the headband. I don't know what. He headbutts Elax because he felt the need to cheat for some reason, and then pins him after a big suplex.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Great stuff. After the match, the gutsy Don y Marcos, they come out to confront Prince Nana. But oh no, it's the mysterious tall black guy, Slugger.
That man has the ruckus here, Slugger himself. And Prince Nana is like, oh, and then he runs away. Donny Marcos, they don't suspect a thing. They think that Prince Nana just needed to go poopy. But unfortunately, he does not need to go poopy. But they will, because they are chokestabbed by Slugger. Oh no. And then Slugger just like, same as ever, goes back into the crowd. I don't know. I can't possibly know where this is going. But on that basis, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's intriguing. It's intriguing.
And then now, if you're to go by 𝖕𝖊𝖓𝖓 view, you just go right to 𝖍𝖚𝖊𝖓 versus 𝖍𝖊𝖓. We hear the REMP.
Fuck
we're
that
showing
shit.
We're showing you matches that 𝖕𝖊𝖓𝖓 doesn't want you to see.
Yeah, we it's now time for us to go outside the oppressive boundaries of 𝖕𝖊𝖓𝖓's edit of the show, because the silly cunt neglected to include the ICP match that happened at this point. Lucky for us, it's available on YouTube. So here we are. It's the Insane Clown Posse against the Outcast Killers of Diablo Santiago and Oman Tortuga.
Why did Gabe pick that Insane Clown Posse?
I have no idea, man. That's probably something I could research, but I prefer to just have that a mystery, I think. So the Outcast Killers, they will become ROH regulars in 03 and 04, but I don't really have distinct memories of them, good or bad. ICP, however, are sadly a one and done. They will never become ROH regulars. Just think of the dream matches we've missed out on. Initially, I thought ICP got a more positive reception from the ROH crowd than I'd have expected. But then, as the music dies down, there's a big chant of "I see shit," and I guess all these cunts were looking at the mirror at the time. You cunts!
You cunts! Insane Clown Posse, they come out and, as we say, the people are going wild and, they're going with the music, the dulcet tones of Insane Clown Posse. What do you think of Insane Clown Posse, Eva? You listen to their music?
I've never listened to a full album, but I've heard enough stuff. I think they've got some pretty cool early stuff, and then they get sort of funny later on.
Yeah,
they're pretty decent. They're also pretty decent wrestlers, or at least Shaggy Two Dopers.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for them as professionals, especially because of that one story that Terry Funk tells, where he was mad at ICP because they did some fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000 shit over one of his death matches, doing funny commentary, and they went over to apologize to him, and he was like, would you like some chili? And then they're like, no, man, we're gonna be okay. And we'll leave you a little bit. Don't do that. And it's okay. And then he looked under his piggy bank, and there was it's $10,000. He said, well, I think the Insane Clown Posse are the greatest band in the history of the world. So, very good stuff. And yeah, the ICP here 𝖭𝖓𝖊𝖗, he's the guy who wrestles this entire match because 𝖊𝖛𝖊𝖓, he's just on the outside, keeping
he does nothing.
The video file for this on YouTube is 3 minutes. Half of this is taken up by the entrance.
ICP, they do adhere to the code, but then they do cheap shots on the Outcast Killers and get the advantage, and then 𝖭𝖓𝖊𝖗 quickly gets the pin after a top rope leg drop. And the fans seem kind of pissed. Not the most notable match ever, of course, but it's a matter of principle that we fucking cover this.
Yes.
Because how dare you omit ICP, Gabe? Come on.
Yes, absolutely. Afterwards, 𝖊𝖏𝖗 comes into the ring, and the fallen Outcast guy, the fallen opponent, he just like goes and forces a handshake on his unconscious body, and thinking about it, perhaps Gabe did not appreciate this. He didn't appreciate this chicanery here, and he was like, "Yeah, well, I guess I'm cutting that out of a videotape."
God damn it, Gabe. But
God damn it, Gabe.
It's Juggalos, we will meet again. That's a promise. JCW, we're coming for you eventually.
A promise.
It's a promise. For now, we will leave you.
Yeah.
To move on to Jay Briscoe versus Xavier, accompanied by Simply Luscious.
Yes. This.
And in a non-title match, Gabe is doing fucking JR announcing Owen Hart's death voice as he talks about this new dishonorable ROH champ and this being a non-title match.
That's fucking right. I thought of this before even Gabe said it, because look, if this was Loki, this would be a title match. He was always a fighting champion, always defended a belt. Xavier, this two-faced piece of shit. How dare he have a non-title match? A warm-up match? Give me a break.
But we can't have a break because the match is happening. This match, of course, was booked after Mark Briscoe on the last show. He recommended his loser brother to the Prophecy when they were trying to think of a shit opponent for Xavier. This match was okay, but not especially notable, despite going a decent length. Xavier's like fine. I feel like Jay at this stage in his career should mostly be facing guys better than him to get the best match, and I don't think Xavier meets that criteria at all. I think Briscoe has already surpassed Xavier.
This felt like a very competently done Intercontinental Championship non-title match that sets up an Intercontinental Championship match, where just like, the champion, he's good, but he's overstepping it. He's being too fucking bullshit, so he gets an upset. And in that sense, like, it was competently done. Yes, I just have to agree with like what Gabe says here, just like all of it, because he like.
So much this. That's what you are.
You know what really sickens me, Eva? Look at Xavier. Just look at him. He's got the background. He's got the look. He's got the skill. He could have gotten here honorably. Could have gotten here on the merit of his own hard work. But so you say, no, I'm gonna disparage code of honor. I'm gonna get there through shenanigans. How dare he?
I don't disagree, but I think instead of saying, you know what disgusted me, I think you should have said, you know what really grinds my gears? In tribute to our man, the real life Peter Griffin.
Hey guys, it's me, the real life Peter Griffin. Xavier, he tore up the code of honor. In this household, the only thing we tear up is Nachos Belgrande.
Oh boy, Nachos Belgrande! Thank you, real life Peter Griffin, for existing.
Furthermore, Gabe, he's attempting to explain the concept of the number one contenders trophy, which, as you'll remember, was created because of Xavier. Because Xavier, he didn't earn his title shot. He just went up to Low-Ki, appealed for a challenge, and Low-Ki accepted because he's a good guy. Gabe doesn't want that from now on. He wants the number one contenders trophy. Now, he tries to explain the concept, right? But then something will happen that makes him mad, and he starts yelling about Xavier being a bullshit piece of garbage. And then, like, you know, like Jeff will be like, "You're explaining about the number one contenders trophy," and then Gabe like, yes, that's true. Let me continue. And then you see Xavier go for a choke, like, "Look at that, Ring of Honor champion using a choke," and he just goes on for like a minute, and loses train of thought.
Spit it out, Gabe.
That's it, Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, he explained the concept of number one contender matches. He's still not really justified the trophy. A trophy implies an actual winner of something. But, you know, whatever, Gabe, whatever. The finish of this is pretty neat. Xavier powerbombs Jay. He holds on to try and hit another. But Jay gets to his feet, hits the Jay driller, and pins that champ.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
My favourite part of this match, honestly, was when Jay Briscoe, he's up top, gonna do a dive. Xavier is on the outside. He watched him go up to the top rope the entire time. Somehow, Jay Briscoe dives and Xavier moves out of the way. And then the camera goes up to Xavier. He's pointing at head. Very smart. Very smart. But then he loses.
This is my head. Within it are my eyes. And I saw that coming. He's still fucking lost. Still fucking
lost. His brain's not that big.
Not that big, mate. Not that big.
Yeah, it's even more disgraceful that, like, this, you know, it makes sense. You don't want to walk the path of honor, you're not going to get the wins in Ring of Honor, you know. And then after this upset, Jay Briscoe is beaten up by the Prophecy. They just, like, are not giving any heed to this loss. They're not humbled by it. They're merely angered. So Jay Briscoe gets murked. It's just like, once again, you know, these guys feel proud of themselves. I wouldn't be if I were them.
Yeah. Xavier, he does a 450 on Jay, and Daniels does his own free count. But that's not official, Daniels.
That's not official. Ref, don't count that.
They go to do more damage, but then that's the point where Low-Ki and Doug Williams run out for the save. Oh.
Wow. Since Samoa Joe is there too, I was wondering if there was going to be anything from, like, you know, like Low-Ki running out. This guy who he just shared like a 0-1 moment with, you know, they're gonna do anything, but nah. Apparently he's just, like, still on that job, so.
We both like 0-1, but we still fucking hate each other.
Damn. Then we can move on to, you know, a match that we've seen before. We thought this feud had ended, but then Carter's Crew. The Carter's Crew made their own tag tournament, which they probably won, and then to celebrate, they decided to murder Boogaloo. So now they're facing the Hit Squad again because they also got beat up, and maybe they feel bad about Boogaloo dying. You know, if I were,
they did attack both teams at the last show, so they were the Hit Squad. They were taken out of the actual tournament at the hands of the Carnage Crew. Natural born sinners, however, they're not going to get revenge because Boogaloo has died.
Yes.
So, maybe Homicide can fight that fight alone, but that is to be seen. Here we have a Philadelphia street fight. It's also Falls Count Anywhere. I feel like this could have been the Falls Count Anywhere part was added in afterwards.
Homicide fights that fight alone every day, Eva. Every day since the incident. Nobody's reaching out to him. But yes, Falls Count Anywhere. That, you know, it probably is true that, like, because I can't imagine it was explicitly stated. But yeah, Carnage Crew versus Hit Squad, it's happening again, and like the Carnage Crew, they come out and they eagerly await their opponents, the hit squad. They look towards the entryway, but they're not coming to the entryway at all. Oh my god! Oh, it's the other way, and they're unsuspecting as like fucking the hit squad throw a guardrail on them.
Are you saying they entered from behind?
Gay.
Yeet.
I like the guardrail action here, like where they just like throw it on top of someone, and they do a senton that like fucks up the mesh. It's all very good.
𝖏𝖚𝖊𝖊𝖓 everybody with 𝖏𝖚𝖊𝖓, plenty of cool hectic brawling on the outside. Gabe for some reason tells us Carnage Crew's shirts are pretty controversial. No,
Yeah,
I have no clue as to why that might be.
I was trying to see like what brand it was that they were wearing, because he mentioned it, but I didn't catch it quite well. So,
Yeah,
like,
I couldn't really make out anything that was on the shirt, so
yeah,
I'm just gonna have to take his word for it that it was pretty controversial.
I like 𝖕𝖊𝖊𝖓 here because like he gets like a bunch of chair action done to him. Like he'll just be sitting on a chair, and then like he'll get a chair shot to the head, and the way he sells it is really good. It's like and like there is a lot of chair carnage here. Like after a while, Jeff, like after like they whip someone into a chair and rearrange it all the time, like Jeff quips that they're redecorating, and he follows up with, "Oh, I love what you've done with the place." And to this, Gabe gives an amused. And if I were Jeff, that would be so validating.
To get a 𝖍𝖊𝖓𝖓 tss. That's just the dream right there.
Yeah, it'd be so good, but unfortunately,
Maybe when Gabe listened to our episode on Round Robin Challenge, perhaps in his car, there was a point that made him go "Tss," in between all the crying that he probably would have done, because we were just ruthless on that shit.
Well, you know what, Gabe? You're in the damn Bahamas or wherever, so I don't care.
He's taken that. He's taken that check and gone home to the Bahamas, where he lives.
This match then begins to start going to the rec center stage, the entryway for like if you're like I don't know having some YMCA basketball or whatever, and then like there's a bunch of stuff that happens. 𝖏𝖚𝖊𝖊𝖓, he attempts to do what I'm calling the high note DDT, which is that he grabs a DDT and then he goes ah! But then that gets broken up. I'm not sure why it was like going falsetto, but that's what it is. They're trying, like the hit squad, they attempt to do some shit where 𝖕𝖊𝖊𝖓 is set up on a table, and then one of the guys is gonna jump off the stage onto the table, but it's broken up, and then Mafia, he gets set up for a pile driver by 𝖕𝖊𝖊𝖓, and then it goes through the table, and then I thought this was quite like strange, like when I first heard it, but now I realize it's just Mystic Gabe again, because this pile driver for a table happens, and Gabe goes, "No."
No.
Before we know that there's something to go no about,
So yeah, there's quite a lot of they get the pin from that. So and there's quite a lot of concern for Math after this match, presumably because he got hurt. And Mystic Gabe, he just knew. He just knew.
He felt something in the air. Yeah, like once again the Carnage Crew is killed. Mafia is dead. But this time it wasn't intentional, so maybe they feel bad about it. And like everyone is there. They're like trying to help Mafia out. And Gabe here, he feels like he reminds me of like Walter Cronkite reporting on the JFK assassination. Like he's the one who, amidst all this chaos, this uncertainty, he has to be there in the newsroom and just like calmly just like take off his glasses. There's such thing as violence. There's such things as brutality. There are such things as too far.
Very well put.
The spurring message in these uncertain times.
You know who else is having uncertain times?
Uh-oh.
Joey Matthews. There we go. I can do segues too now.
Wow. Joey's just fucking...
He's out of it, mate. Because
he's out of it.
they're in the changing rooms. Christian York and Alexis Lurie, they're showing concern. Joey Matthews, he's just slumped, passed out in the changing room. What could have happened here? But then, through the crack of a door, we see Elax giggling at this in the company of Special K. Oh no. Drugs.
Oh, it's sad times for Joey Matthews. You know, like this year in 2002, it's still like 7 or 8 years before like he is saved by CM Punk in the Straight Society. So until then, life is going to be hell for him. Unfortunate, but we can't dwell on it.
I only just realised that's like that kind of happened in real life as well. Because I think Matthews is in a like bad way. Like he was addicted to painkillers after his face exploded.
After his face exploded, that's right. Yeah.
And like Punk helped him out. I think he bought him a fucking house or some shit.
Bought him a house. That's right.
Who buys someone a house? Well done, Punk.
Who buys someone a house?
It's not going to stop me from reading from your live journal every time I see you. But good on you, Punk. Well done.
Yeah, big ups. But yeah, like, that's crazy then. Joey Matthews just like both in kayfabe and real life, just like not having a good time with this
substance abuse. He was all to CM
Punk. If only like Punk versus Cabana happened on this show so that he could have been there. But we can't dwell on it too much because we have like a follow-up to that big feud in Ring of Honor. It used to be Loki versus the Prophecy, but that's begun to kind of start petering out as now Michelson versus Paul London. That's the big feud. Now, this time, Spanky's here too.
Yeah, for a elimination match. I didn't catch it was an elimination match at first until someone got eliminated. So it was one of those ones.
Well, you know
I don't think Gabe told me.
Gabe did tell you.
Oh, did
he? Yeah. And I knew it because like I was just sitting there dreamily with my head in my hands, just listening to his every words, loving the sound of it all. This match here, the first half of it, as in the half where Paul London is in it, it feels like a comedy match, doesn't it?
I've not made that particular note. What thought about a comedy match about it too?
Like there's a lot of spots that just seem like I'm sure given like the fact that like the crowd is not reacting in that way that was not intended to be, but it'll be a bit like all the miscommunication spots, so spots that use 3 people, all seem like very like funny. Like, one of the first ones is that Spanky, he whips Michaels into the corner. And he goes to the other corner to go like, and set up a move. And then Paul London interrupts it, which Spanky gets mad about. And Jeff, he calls him up being like, Spanky was like, hey, I was doing something. And then, like, the very next thing that happens to Spanky, he whips Michael Shane again. But, it's like smacking the shut your mouth. You press X during an Irish whip to do a clothesline instead. And unfortunately, Paul Lynn didn't know this, so he's preparing to do a drop kick, and then he just misses it. He falls. It's all this stuff that feels very slapstick, yeah. Now, the thing about Paul London, right, is that every time he does a drop kick, he's actively going for the thing where you basically do a shooting star press in it, right? So, like, you can see it. You can see it in his like tilt. He's not doing like a horizontal thing. He's like fully going for the shooting star press standing, and he just hopes that the legs hit you. Somehow, after doing it like 4 times, he lands on his neck.
Yeah, he does nearly kill himself a bit.
Yeah, and like much like the Rikishi bump by Mayweather Gonzalez, no one really notices it.
Yeah. So this match, or at least this portion of it, is decent enough. Maybe not one that you need to watch again, but decent enough. London
Oh,
is
come on, be
eliminated.
principled at least.
I mean, you could watch it again if you want, mate.
Well, I will.
Do you wanna? All right,
Well, I
then.
will.
Fucking do it then. So London is eliminated when he attempts a shooting star press to Spanky. He goes all the way over Shane's head in the process, which is pretty cool. But Spanky moves, and he hits the sliced bread number 2 on him. But then Michael Shane super kicks Spanky and then pins London to eliminate him. Damn, the ultimate opportunist, Michael Shane.
It's too true. It's too true. Then this match comes down to Spanky versus Michael Shane, and like it's this, it's very back and forth and
How
nice moves.
How about Gabe's narrative for this this apparent feud? I didn't realize this was a feud, Spanky and Michael Shane, first of all. But apparently they're both feuding over because they're both desperate to be named the showstopper.
Yes, that's the stipulation of this match. The winner will become new showstopper.
On a wrestling level, I felt that the match lost a bit of steam here. With
It
both
did.
guys,
It did.
with both guys wrestling in tired mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like it did become like quite listless, and like I didn't like it as much. Like Resident Evil, he's out there and like his trash dog is going like ooh and all that, and then because like the London portion, like it was unintentionally entertaining, but like it was still entertaining, Meanwhile, this was kind of just like, just waiting for this to kind of end, and like it was sort of that point where like a kick out had like when I got to the finish, right, all I thought was those last 5 minutes I could have done without them,
Yeah.
That finish is that after a bunch of stuff, Michael Shane hits that picture perfect elbow to win the match. As a result, Spanky can no longer stop any shows.
Yeah, Michael Shane is Shawn Michaels now. We all just have to accept it. That was the stipulation here, apparently. After the match, Michael Shane cuts a promo I mostly can't hear, but I believe he rejects the showstopper name. But who fucking knows, honestly? Who the fuck even cares?
Are you telling me that Michael Shane did that Great American Bash 2004? He's a barbarian, but
I'm sorry, showstopper name. I have no other choice.
Michael Shane, you devilish man. Now it's time to move on to the main event, which has a similarly monumental stipulation, doesn't it?
Oh boy. Yeah, another absolutely fucking genius stipulation here from Gabe. If Daniels beats Doug can never shake hands in ROH again. Oh no. Please no. Anything but Doug Williams not doing a handshake. Why would Gabe allow this to happen? If only Gabe was on commentary to explain it to me. Instead, I just have to make do of this fucking 𝖓𝖏 guy.
Gabe, he goes into detail. Oh, imagine the disgrace that Doug Williams would feel every time he steps in the Ring of Honor. That he can't do a handshake.
Oh fuck! It's truly a main event stipulation here.
Absolutely. And you
I
remember,
ate Pringles during this match. Tasty. Once you pop, you just can't stop. You get me?
what flavour?
Paprika.
Oh, good space.
So yeah, I make good life choices.
Tasty, itchy, tasty. If you remember last time, right? This match was kind of set up by Christopher Daniels, because Christopher Daniels, after congratulating Xavier on the ROH title, he was like, "Hey, I hear that 𝖚𝖚𝖊𝖏 and Doug Williams got a problem with me." So he decided to book 𝖚𝖚𝖊𝖏 versus Doug Williams. However, Togo, he's injured, so he lost. And now Doug Williams is number one contender to Daniels.
Fuck! I didn't clock that. We could have got 𝖚𝖚𝖊𝖏 versus Doug Williams. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh, what a shame.
Take a good
Fuck.
look, 'cause you'll never see it again.
Fuck.
So, well, you know, there
I'm
there
gonna
is
look up if they had a match anywhere else.
there is a reverse stipulation to this, you know, because I believe that if Daniels loses, then he has to shake hands.
Wow.
I believe that's what's stated on commentary. so both men with something to lose here.
It's not a great match though, is it? It's a bit of a
No,
underwhelming way to main event what's possibly been the best. Probably, I'd say even probably been the best ROH show that we've covered so far.
yes,
Doug
especially
does
given
some cool shit, but Daniels mostly doesn't.
Yeah, Daniel's a very overwhelming presence in that way. It's quite similar to how like that tag title tournament final was just kind of okay, just because like you know it's Daniels. And there's a ceiling on it just because he's fucking boring, and yeah, like I I had to kind of give thought to whether like what jurisdiction this stipulation had, because I initially didn't think that it just meant Ring of Honor, right? They had to kind of say, oh, imagine that if he never did it in Ring of Honor again. I thought that Doug Williams would be banned from handshakes in general. So,
he meets someone at the pub and shakes his hand, and then just like fucking dozens of cops just fucking raid the place.
he shakes someone's hand, the sky opens up, Gabe is like, I saw you!
I just looked it up, and Doug Williams has never faced Dick Togo, but Nasawa, you can sort that, my friend. You can sort that for me. Please do it. I think.
Oh, that's true, because he's not retired in Japan, so yeah. Maybe that could happen.
Come on, Nasawa, please. For all the 2002 ROH heads.
Absolutely. Like, just imagine, like, you know, if Doug Williams, like, you know, went to a job interview, and like his job interviewer was like, you know what, Mr. Williams, you're just the guy we're looking for. Put it there. And then Doug Williams would be like, oh, right, that's bloody great. I'm sorry, I must refuse. I must go.
Just runs away crying.
Yeah, the kids can't live like this anymore. So this match, like, you know, a lot of Christopher Daniels, it's something that on paper should work, you know, as in it hits notes, but it does so in a very mechanical way. Like the finish to this is that Doug Williams, he gets off the Chaos Theory. That's his big move, his signature. Nobody's kicked out of it. What is this? He got the rope. Daniels got the rope. Oh no. Oh no. And like if you were to like fucking play EWR, you'd be like, that's a good finish for our main event. Really sets you up for future feuds. But me watching him, just like, I don't like it.
Daniels quickly getting the pin with his feet in the ropes. No. We would never see Doug Williams as here to the code, and Gabe was just going to enforce this for some reason. No. The worst thing that could have ever happened.
The worst thing. This is the worst case scenario.
Daniels, after the match, he mocked Doug, offering what but a handshake.
At this time, Daniels.
Come on, Daniels. But from behind, it's Dick Togo on crutches. He hits Daniels with a crutch as Doug holds Simply Luscious back, and then Jay Briscoe jumps in, hits Daniels with the Jay Driller, and then Doug, he shows us what we're gonna miss so badly in the future as he shakes the hand of Jay and Togo. The last time, it could be the last time we see that. I'm not sure I'm prepared for a world where I can't see Doug Williams' hand touch another man's hand and go up and down and up and down. I can't live in that world, Connor.
The only question I'm asking is for a copy of the contract to this match, because I want to know if this said the handshake ban goes into effect immediately or tomorrow. Because if not,
Oh.
he just infringed it. I was so fucking
Well,
like, what the fuck?
Is that the code? Two guys who just ran in? It's not the code, is it? That's the morsel of hope that I have, that we can still see Doug Williams do some handshakes outside of the code. Otherwise, fuck, I'm just done. I'm
reminded now of like when John Cena got fired. It's about Series 2010, right? And then like in the weeks that followed, well, the day after, he was like, well, I guess this is goodbye. And then next week, he showed up to beat some Nexus members up. And then the next week, he showed up to beat some Nexus members up. And Wade was like, okay, you're hired. I'm wondering if like a similar storyline will occur with Doug Williams, where he just keeps shaking hands.
Oh. Does he have the fucking steel to do that? Who knows?
Gabe, imagine Gabe just be like, oh well, I agree with the sentiment, but I don't know, he might get in trouble. So like, a sad end to the show. Like, you know, not even just in terms of like the match being pretty shit, but just like, yeah, a tragedy. I can't believe this. But then we get like our motherfucking end segments. Tony Mamelouk, he is leaving. He's got his fucking travel bag. He's going up the stairs. Then he hears a voice behind him. Tony! She's Martato. He's there. You're not even going to say goodbye?
Yeah, the Maritato goes and after a little bit of a stare, he hugs Maritato. Maritato says he was beaten by the better man, and it's all very nice, but oh god, he's still fucking at it. He's still fucking at it. You lost, James, and he's still lecturing Mamelouk. You're better than this.
You gotta drop the comedy act.
Go home, James. But this time, I don't know what's changed. Mamelouk, he just accepts it, and I'm like, no, do the forget about it.
Yeah, he just goes, James, you know, I calls him James, not Guido. It's just, James, you're right. It's time to be a man. So, like,
I suppose this is a nice enough segment for Maritato to bow out on as he leaves to become Nunzio in the WWE.
Oh, this is last season.
Yeah.
Oh!
And I'm certain that in the WWE he'll be wrestling just like Akira Maeda, and there'll be no comedy whatsoever. But we wish him well on his travels.
God, between this and Christian York, we're really losing a lot of like the pillar stones of
Boogaloo last month, like
Boogaloo last
shit's
month.
changing.
The winds of change are blowing.
God.
And then we get into a very intriguing segment, because, like, you know, the prophecy is there, Daniels is there, he is like going ha about all this, like he's like, you know, giving like foreboding statements about the future. And then what's this? The camera zooms out. Daniels looks ahead. Is that okay? Yeah. It's promo's a guy. They're shooting the promo, and now they're gonna go off and live their lives. But what's this? The king of old school, Mr. Steve Corino.
Oh no! He wants to shag Simply Luscious now.
But Daniels, he's not liking this. We all thought that there would be tension here, and finally it's coming to a boil. Steve Corino, he once again says that Simply Luscious is the prophecy. That's business. For me, it's Simply Luscious. Oh, that's personal. But Daniels, he says, hey, Steven Corino, just do me one favor. Stop badmouthing the prophecy. And then Steve Carell's like, oh, okay. And then, like, that seems like, a tense moment indeed, but, like, it's past, like, we can go past it now. But here comes Michael Shane now, cohort of Stephen Carino, and he goes up to, like, he's, like, bad-mouthing these guys, and then Xavier, the ROH champion, says, hey, I heard you were in the number one contender tourney. You think that you have a chance at me? And then, like, Mick says, like, yes, and after I beat you, you're gonna have to shake my hand, 'cause I get off on it. And then, like, that just, like, fucking, gets shit going. And then
my thought was, I don't want to fucking see any of these people feud. They're all heels.
Yeah, it's a bit strange that way. And then, like, Steve Carino, he goes off, but he sees Joe on the way. Joe is in the background. Daniels was just acting as if, like, he was part of the prophecy. So he goes up to Samoa Joe and he's like, Norman Jeans. And Samoa just like, Norman Jeans, baby. They high five. And then Daniels is like, Joe, get back here. We have to discuss business. And then Joe, he busts his mouth, he's like, psst, I'm here because you pay me. If you want me to be your boyfriend, that'll be extra. Turns away. And the show ends.
I did not know that Joe was escorting on the side, but
the show ends with, up until this point, Christopher Daniels has been the devil. He's always been getting his way, but this time he ends up with his head in his hands. He's under stress.
Good.
Embattled by many issues. Oh no.
Good.
Oh my god. So overall, great show.
Yeah, I would say probably the best show Ring of Honor has done to this point. There was nothing totally infuriating, and a match as amazing as Low-Ki versus Joe puts it way above most of the rest. Good shit overall. Yeah,
and at most points throughout the show, I just felt like I was going to explode, because just Gabe. he's so good at talking. So that combines.
He's great at booking and then talking about the booking.
Mr. Gabe.
Mr. Gabe.
You can open the Herald and you find Mr. Gabe on the horoscopes page.
And Mr. Gabe is going to be with us for a long time. He's never going to stop this shit.
He's never going to stop this shit. You told me I was going to hate him, but I just love him with every single syllable uttered.
Yeah, so what has happened? Because prior to us both watching this, you were like, the only wrestling I've really been looking forward to for ages is like Gabeism.
I think it's because, like, there's just something about, like, stuff that I know I'll, like, just, like, find, like, funny, and like it's sort of like a different sort of funny from, like, I'll watch this show because I know it'll be fun and give me some laughs, because, like, as you can plainly tell, this is different. This is different.
Yeah, this is supposedly a chicanery-free zone. This should be the driest wrestling on the planet. But it is very funny.
but it's not. I just have, like, so much love for Gabe Sapolsky now. I can't take it. And so yeah, just like like I literally all I've watched, like, in the past couple, like, weeks is, like, Gaia Japan and also Gabe Sapolsky, and, like, Gabe just, like, being himself. Like, it feels like such a nice little constant. Like, I drift away, ready to accept him once more as I turn on VLC Media Player. And now I think
you had your cone at the ready.
Yes.
Cones up for VLC Media Player. We love you.
Cones up. I think it's time for opinions now. Why
Yeah.
don't you go first, Eva? I'm sure that like you have a lot of thoughts on this show.
Okay. So the opening scramble. Hey! Backseat Boys versus Homicide and Steve Corino. Oh, ROH taking it to the fucking hardcore nobodies. Fuck yeah. Oh no. Oh no! No! The mixed tag with Christopher Street Connection. Yay. Winner earns rights of FBI gimmick match. Forget about it.
Oh.
Oh. Hidaka versus Red. Counters are stupid. ETV title match. Finally, a boyhood dream has come true.
Wow.
Texas Death Match. Oh fuck. Oh no. What? Why did you do a flip up? The fight without honor, Loki versus Joe. Yes! 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 Prince Nana versus Elax. What? ICP versus Outcast Killers. Yeah, that'll do. No, actually, fuck you, Gabe, for admitting that.
Yeah,
You are a silly bastard.
it's true.
Xavier versus Jay Briscoe. Well, folks, I have the unfortunate responsibility of informing you that Xavier is the new ROH champion, and this is a non-title match. Philadelphia street fight. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh no. Oh no! Rip. The elimination match between Shane London and Spanky. Oh yeah, this is good. Oh wait, maybe not. I will not watch it again. And Christopher Daniels versus Douglas. Well, whatever. There you go.
I'm imagining that, like, you know, like, like someone's saying that, like, you know, like instead of this is not part of our entertainment tonight, you just go, this is a non-entertainment part of the programming.
Non-entertainment.
Okay, now it's time for my opinions on this show in much order. Oh. Thanks. You're a loser. No.
Nice. The start of that sounded like a noise remix of Muhammad Hassan's theme. In my opinion. Maybe that's what you should do for the outro of a show. Like, put some like noise over Muhammad Hassan's theme.
Don't even mix it. Just like put it in there.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Finish.
Fish.
Hit Squad has in mind.
Mafia definitely has some plan, and I got a feeling it's going to involve more seats, more destroyed.
More redecorating. Oh, I love what you've done with the place.
And Red had to roll out of the ring. That one probably took the air right out of his lungs, and he needs a breather on the floor. Of course, no countouts in Ring of Honor. Countouts are stupid, so Ring of Honor got rid of them. Look, the ref stands there.
That's a 9 count, comes up with a reasonable break, and they come up and do another 9 count, there's no counter. So it's just like a count altogether. And however, if you already go for 2 hours, it's 7 times, so that can't work. That's your count.